You are the weakest link.
I'm afraid of ghosts and holes with ghosts and sheets with holes in them. Or no, with holes and sheets in them.
And this is why we can't have all three of us on the same video at once. Alright.
And holes with sheets in them.
English.
Alright. Hello, soldiers of the cog and my fellow gears. Welcome
Hello.
to Treblechin Entertainment. Joining us is our two normal people and the Marcus Phoenix to my Dominic Santiago, the Damon Baird to my Augustus Cole.
Wouldn't I be Dominic? I am Dominic.
You are your name is Dominic.
Maybe he's the Marcus
Do
Phoenix
names
to your,
really
to
matter
your
here?
coal train? The coal train runs on whole grain, baby. Woo!
Our good pal Larry.
After that long ass intro.
If you didn't get any of those references, you probably shouldn't be watching this video because we are going to talk about Gears of War.
Yeah.
This is
A true American value.
I'm an American.
a true American value. This is one of me and Larry's first co-op experiences.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I remember we powered through Gears of War 2 like as soon as I found out you had Xbox Live.
I know. That was like the first thing we did.
Well, this was back in middle school.
Oh yeah,
that was true.
Back in middle school,
I
like
didn't know
when,
you yet. Well, no, I knew you from Guitar Hero Tournament, but
Yeah.
that's how we met. We were bitter enemies.
Yeah. But it was one of the first things we ever played online together, and
yeah.
it's been a real important part of our gaming lives for a really long time. And the reason we're wanting to talk about it today is because
Thank God.
this past week, the Gears of War 4 beta started up.
Oh man.
And there was also
So good.
there was also an announcement for
Is it good now?
it is
It's much better.
it is
much better.
much better. But there was also
it might
the
be-
announcement of the release date, which is on October 11th,
Yes.
the day before this boy's birthday.
So great.
It's gonna be, and we're not. You won't see us on October 11th. No
Probably
one
not.
will.
We'll probably be gone for several days.
We'll be well as long as it takes to finish.
If we weren't to do like a power through of all 4 games.
Oh man, if we're gonna do all 4 games, yeah, you won't see us for a week. But anyway, but yeah, the Gears of War 4 beta finally started. The Gears of War 4 beta started up this past week, and it's real cool. Like the last Gears of War game that came out besides the Ultimate Edition of the original game was Gears of War Judgment, and Gears of War Judgment, while being strange to the formula, is still an okay game.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
But it changed a lot about the control scheme and
That it
stuff,
did.
which
That it did.
which
I
was
heard about that.
was weird.
I didn't play Judgment, but I played the other 3.
Yeah,
But Gears of War 4 is a complete return to form.
I love it already. Like as soon as I started playing it, I just felt at home with what it was doing.
Yeah, and it felt a little strange because we jumped into it right after playing the Doom beta.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Yeah.
It took some getting used to.
Yeah, it's
While I was up on my Xbox and we were playing the Doom beta,
yeah.
and after that ended, they went to go and play the Gears beta, and I went back to Destiny
Yeah.
because I didn't know that the Doom beta was going on that weekend, so I was already on it. And Davey's like, "Well, I see Davey's on." I'm like, "Oh, you're playing the Doom beta? Is it another closed one?" He's like, "No, it's open until 11 o'clock." Oh.
Poor boy.
So I hopped onto that and played that, and from because I hadn't heard you guys talking about it since then, but whenever you were first talking about it, and it might be from the Doom jet lag is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Things were looking bad.
Yeah, and like the first thing I thought I noticed was the game felt really slow.
Yeah.
Which might have been as a result of playing.
I think that was Doom
beta.
because Doom is so fast paced.
Doom is
that it's
so
just
fast, but it felt a little slow. And jumping into the Gears of War 4 beta after not playing Gears of War for a while, and jumping in with those people that probably have been playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition since it came out and have been
literally Doom, hell on earth.
Been playing non-stop, and we came in and it was basically like they whipped their dicks out and beat us about the head and shoulders with them.
Knees and toes, knees and toes.
You walked in like, all right, gonna play the Gears of War.
We're gonna have fun.
Boom.
No.
Boom.
Just a whole team of boomers.
Boomers! You've got boomers!
A whole team of boomers with minigun rocket launchers.
Man, that was...
It was a really, really bad experience. But, so, I was like, maybe I'm just not gonna play the Gears of War 4 beta, and I'm just gonna wait until the game comes out. But the other day I was feeling bored, and I'm like, okay, I'll jump into this. And I jumped in on the
Team Deathmatch hardcore AI.
Team Deathmatch with hardcore AI bots. And once I finally got to experience the game, the nostalgia washed over me. Washed over me like holy water. It was
reborn.
Like the Force Awakens trailer number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like Han Solo walking onto the Millennium Falcon. I was like, Chewie, we're home.
We're like, Larry, we're home.
Pretty much.
It was great. I'm just like, okay, this is Gears. This is what I want. And
this is all that I ever want.
I'm finally back on the Gears of War 4 hype train. And I was on that to begin with. Like the first thing I said, like you've been talking about how you're gonna go to a real university next year and you're gonna be away. But I'm just like, buddy, as soon as Gears of War comes out, I don't care how far, I don't care what day, I don't care what you got going on, I'm coming. We're gonna do split screen. We're gonna play through that shit. And because like it's a core fiber of my being.
It really is.
The core fiber of our gaming identity.
Like, I think much more for you guys, like, my core is much more like Halo and probably Diablo for PC gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, Halo 1 was the game that I couldn't stop playing, and then Halo 2, and then 3, and then 4, and
so
then
on.
Reach. And 5 was kind of there.
You mixed up Reach and 4 there.
That's fine.
But
it was all on the 360.
But Gears of War was like my second M-rated game. Like the second M-rated game.
It was my first.
I was ever allowed to play. It was the first one for you. And like,
you poor boys.
We were sheltered children. But it was like the second M-rated game I was ever allowed to play. I was like 14 years old, and I remember my brother was super hyped about the first one, and it came out, and I had to play it without blood because my mom's like, blood's bad for kids.
It's not good.
It's not good for you. But I played it without blood, which was still super duper fun, and I was.
What did the COD symbol for your health be?
Well, it's still a red skull.
Yeah, it's always been that.
I wasn't sure if you turned the blood off, if it just turned to a metal.
Yeah. But
just a metal cod.
In Gears of War 2, which is really funny, if you have the blood turned off in that giant worm level, there's still just blood pouring out everywhere.
It's the only way they can do it. You can't not put blood in a giant worm. I mean,
this is just pointless.
It's just a bunch of mucus.
Ew.
I thought it might be water or something, but like no, it's still blood. It's still just flowing up and like it was the most beautiful game I had ever seen in my life, and
Oh yes.
When I saw Gears of War 4 for the first time, which granted an unfinished game at this point in juncture.
Yeah. That it is unfinished.
It's an unfinished game, but it wasn't that awe-inspiring, this is next gen looking thing.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of looks like a lot of stuff
they're trying, but they're not done yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's from the sound of it, like the set pieces look fantastic.
Yeah, a lot
the
of set
models.
pieces look. A lot of set pieces look good, but once you actually look at the models, because
not even then, because like some of the models, granted, were like great looking. Like some of the armor pieces, like in detail, were just amazing. But like the new army, the Swarm, like the player models, they need to work on those more. Like the cloth pieces, they were just flying everywhere and they didn't look good.
And Blizzard physics.
It had a little. It had a little bit of Diablo 3 physics, but like, it wasn't. It wasn't like fun Diablo 3 physics. It's just like, what is going on with your butt?
yeah. That's...
What is happening with your butt?
Your butt is everywhere.
Uncontrollable butt flap.
It just looks.
This is the Swarm. Butt flap.
It's the heart of the Swarm. But like the character models, once you actually look at them, there's a few of them that look excellent.
Oh yeah,
and the cog ones especially.
Oh yeah.
Like Kate and JD especially.
Yeah.
Like the girl with the cloth hat on her head.
Yeah.
Like she
Piper!
She look. We're not talking about Fallout. Don't get me started. But she looks really, really good, and JD looks really, really good. There's one character model, and it's the only character model that doesn't have cog armor on that looks really strange. Like her face looks weird, her hair looks wrong.
She looks like she just doesn't belong.
Yeah, and part of that might be because they're trying to add
like maybe just non-cog.
They're trying to add a non-cog character into an area that's kind of been dominated by big dudes in ridiculous blue armor.
Yeah.
And that runs on whole grain.
There's a coal train that runs on whole grain.
Obviously.
Baby woo. Well, like this girl that, and traditionally the non-cog characters in Gears of War have looked just awful.
Yeah.
Like in the old games, like Marcus Phoenix and Dom look great, but when they meet up with that stranded guy who runs the gas station,
oh man,
he looks like
he looks like a human blob.
He just looked like he looks like an unfinished he looks like a kind of prettier Grand Theft Auto 3 character model.
Yeah,
he's just like weirdly moving around, but like. That's neither here nor there. The character models look pretty good, and let's dive into what we can kind of infer about what we're fighting based on like the characters we're fighting in multiplayer. Because when I first looked at the Swarm, they look very reminiscent of the Locust.
Yeah.
Like they look a lot like the Locust Horde, but they're spikier. They've got like they look like grungy teenagers. The grungy teenage version of the Locusts.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if like now we're fighting kind of evolved versions of the Locust.
Maybe they're like they've evolved to some point, or I was thinking maybe like they're a cousin of the Locust. Maybe they're like a branch off the family of the Locust.
Like the difference between dogs and wolves and
like they're kind of the same thing, but they're they're different.
The predators that kill people and the predators that the predators kill for food.
Yeah.
Or I just had a thought. What if they're Locust that got infected with the lambent but were immune to it? So like
you think they mutated a little bit?
Like they mutated to like
that's really interesting
to like come along with the lambent, so they are more powerful. Like they have.
I didn't think
the
that.
They have like the power of the lambent, so that they've grown all of these. They've hyper mutated basically into bigger, stronger beings.
Excuse me,
because I've only seen the trailer.
Yeah.
And the thing in the trailer does not look like anything like the Locust.
Yeah.
So is it maybe like a hyper mutated clicker?
Yeah, ticker.
Ticker.
Yeah.
It could be, and what you just made me think of something interesting, and I apologize for bringing up the Doom movie, but in the
24th chromosome.
in the Doom movie, like they have a virus that injects into people, and some people who get it turn into crazy, ridiculous monsters, which in this case would be the Lambent. Whereas some of them, if they have the genetics required, would become superhuman, and like they would still be fine. They'd just be super strong and be able to withstand more damage than a regular human.
Quick question though: Is the Doom movie going to be brought up in literally every single one of our nerdcasts from now on?
I hope not.
I'll make that a thing.
I hope I don't have to talk about that unless I'm bringing up Gears of War.
Simplify, motherfucker.
Simplify, motherfucker. And his condition is that he's dead. But anyway, no.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Which would be super interesting, because like we saw in Gears of War 3, like when they finally introduced the plot point of the Lambent and like the problem that it was kind of killing the Earth and stuff. Like we saw the Lambent in 2, a little bit in 1, but we saw Lambent wretches in Gears of War 1 in the pumping station level.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there were Lambent wretches.
Where the what's it? What's the crap that makes the Lambent on that brain part?
The emulsion.
Emulsion, that's it. That's where like the emulsion was strongest, like right where they were mining it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
I remember that.
Yeah, and we saw the Lambent there, but we didn't know what they were. We're just like, oh shit,
they're exploding now.
That's a unique enemy. They're exploding when I kill them. I can't chainsaw them. But like,
use at your own discretion.
Use at your own discretion. Yeah.
Or I guess the thing in the trailer could be a wretch instead of ticker.
Maybe.
What I was actually thinking was that monster might be like a weird mutation of like Brumok.
Maybe. That reminds me a lot of like when the
small for Brumok though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the Locusts, like when they like in the Gears of War 3 when they mutated and there was that giant snake head that shot lasers.
The Gunkers. Not the
Gunkers. It was Drudges.
The Drudges, yes.
But
with the 2 guns, and they would mutate as you fight them.
The way the tail looked and how it kind of shoots things a little bit kind of makes me think of a little bit how the head worked.
Yeah, and that's what leads me to believe. That's what makes me believe that maybe it's a different strain of the Lambent virus.
Yeah.
That just didn't get killed by Adam Phoenix's weapon.
And that makes sense. I mean, even now, like if you take a disease, you can't just isolate it and then get rid of it. All of a sudden, it's done.
Yeah, like
I mean, there's always gonna be different strains of something particular.
Yeah, like when you wipe down a doorknob with Lysol, like it kills 99.999%.
But there's always that like
bacteria,
point.
But there's that one strain, and that strain
wants revenge.
Essentially,
kind of, yeah.
That one strain of literally anything that you wipe down with Germ-X or anything is Conan the Barbarian. And now that's how we have to think about germs.
God, you just horrified me.
It's like after 84 years, like your doorknob just starts Arnold screaming.
Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper! And like
my father!
And like a little tiny helicopter just flies away. Back on topic.
That's when you run away because the bacteria have discovered chopper technology.
They're airborne again.
They haven't discovered chopper technologies. They have discovered chopper technology.
They're two different things.
They're two totally different things.
CHOPPAH.
Yeah, and okay, let's talk about.
Back on topic.
Back on topic. Let's talk about.
On topic.
let's talk about what we think the story might be. It's like I've done a little bit of research as to the characters, and I've
You're more informed on this part than me.
I've learned a little bit about like JD. We know JD is Marcus Phoenix's son.
Yeah.
We know that much. And I read a wiki that said that he was Marcus Phoenix's estranged son. So that makes me think that maybe they had a falling out, or Marcus Phoenix didn't want JD to join the COG, or JD joined the COG to get away from his father, or something.
So I feel like Marcus, after everything he experienced throughout his life, he doesn't want that kind of life for his son. Yeah. Especially now that, the locusts are supposed to be, dealt with. He kind of just wants his son to live a peaceful, normal life.
Which is understandable, because we have 3 games showing us how terrible, terrible that threat. 4 games showing us how terrible that threat was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how badly it affected humanity.
Sarah was getting screwed.
And especially the way it affected Marcus in particular, especially towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a terrible, terrible tragedy, and understanding that he probably didn't want his son to go off and die.
The Lambent took a lot of Marcus. They took his dad, they took Dominic.
Yeah.
His best friend. It's taken so much from him.
Yeah. And it's all happening again. And
what if to start the story off, like, this new whichever locust they are, the swarm.
Yeah.
Like, the swarm shows up, and like most
the
of
humans
humanity
of Sierra knew the illusion of peace until Emergence Day.
Jesus Christ.
But like, what if like they show up and humanity's like, no, fuck this shit, we're leaving. Well, I'm not sure how, but we're gonna figure out a way to get off the goddamn planet. And then there are some of those that still want to stay, like, this is our world. We don't have to deal with it. We've beat them once. And we can do it again.
Maybe Marcus wanted to stay behind and fight and wanted his family to leave.
For all we know, Sarah is still sick.
And JD's like, no, I'm going to stay and I'm going to fight with you. But like that.
Or even Marcus is like, no, not again. And JD goes off with the COG.
Yeah, and that's
bad things happen.
This is all speculation.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
We don't know anything, but
I didn't even know what Davey was talking about.
This would be fun. No, but what I also think, like, what if it starts with Marcus Phoenix dying? Like, Marcus Phoenix is gone. And JD tries to, like, joins the army out of some
spite of the swarm for killing his dad, you think?
Yeah, some spite of the swarm for killing his father, because deep down he does have some loyalty left for him. I feel like the falling out might have happened before, for lack of a better word, Emergence Day.
Yeah.
And I feel like when his dad
Remergence Day.
Remergence Day.
That'd be really dumb. Don't do that.
If this happens, his dad dies, he's like, I need to avenge him. I don't know why, but something in me needs to avenge him.
You killed my father.
Yeah.
Ah!
and the trailer shows him going back to his home.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know from press releases, the Coalition has said that the game takes place over a 24-hour period. So I feel like the game might be taking place on Remergence Day.
That makes sense.
That would be interesting.
Especially if they plan on making more games. It'd be good to kind of set the stage a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have they said, like, we're making more than this one?
I think they said that it's going to be a new trilogy.
Okay.
So that makes sense then.
Thank God. Assuming it's good. It from the looks of it feels like what we loved before. And that's
they're kind of hitting the roots a little bit.
That's really cool. But speaking of
You're gassy.
speaking of the homecoming thing, like we saw that in Gears of War 1.
Yeah.
Like we returned to Marcus Phoenix's Adam Phoenix's mansion, where Marcus Phoenix grew up, in like the back half of Gears of War 1, the start of the back half.
Yeah.
And when I feel like maybe they're gonna delve into maybe being a little bit iterative of that.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Just trying to derive from the original thing and maybe delve deeper into the emotional part of it.
Maybe.
Because
they're going to want to get you to attach to the character, especially if they're going to make a trilogy. They want you to feel connected to JD.
Yeah, and...
So it feels like poetry.
Gears.
It'll rhyme.
Shut up. Shut up, George Lucas. Shut up, George Lucas.
Black twist!
You filthy turkey neck.
Oh.
But anyway. No, because in Gears of War 1 was very much a tech demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was.
It's a very pretty tech demo.
It's a very good tech
very
demo.
pretty, very fun tech demo. But it is a tech demo. And they while I love that game to death, doesn't do a very good job of making me care very much about the characters.
Yeah, they just kind of threw you into it.
Yeah, a little bit. And now that I go back, I do care because I know them now.
Yeah.
And I feel that connection with them. And they did such a good job in Gears of War 2.
Oh, man.
By bringing in the emotional stuff with Dom, having the friendship between him and Marcus, and just carrying us through and bringing us in and making us feel like part of this squad. And they did a really, really good job narratively with 2 to bring it in and really, really take it home with Gears of War 3. But Gears of War 1 was a tech demo, and I didn't really care. I'm just like, this is cool, this is fun, and hyper violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And I'm wondering if this game is gonna be a little bit more mature than the previous trilogy.
Maybe.
Which I'm not sure how I feel about that, if it is, but go on.
Like, I would almost say it would, because if the game is only taking place of a 24-hour period, they gotta fill a ton of shit into that.
Yeah.
And
I'd imagine this is gonna be like a 12, 13-hour game, probably.
Probably. What were the other ones again? I mean, they were...
The first one's like, I would say...
How long did it take us to
8, 9.
power through that?
Well, actually, it took us like 5 powering through.
That's true.
But
to really explore it, it'd probably take maybe...
I think it took us about 5, maybe 6 or 7. But
the second one was way longer.
The second one's like 12, 13. The third one's probably 12-ish. But I'd say this is gonna be about Wolfenstein Doom length, like 13, 15 hours.
That makes sense.
Which, again, total speculation. Don't know anything. But
well, that's also a good length for a shooter.
Yeah, it is. It is a good length for a shooter, and if they're catering to the audience that we are, which is the people that actually care about the story, that'll be great. That'll be really good for us, because there is a chunk of the population who just plays this game for the multiplayer. I
don't know what type of creature they are.
They do play the campaign.
well, don't get me wrong. The multiplayer is super.
No. But if they're only playing the game, because
the story is so good.
The story is so good.
Call of Duty,
and
junkie.
Like Call of Duty, like especially like the story, I could not get it, but multiplayer was like the main reason why I even was playing it.
Or Destiny.
Any game that can do both well, I applaud
that's
you.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
But any game that can do both well, which is Halo, Gears of War, those games. Hopefully Doom. But
I really hope so.
Yeah, because the multiplayer's great. But anyway, but like there is a big portion of the population that saw that first game and was like, yeah, this story doesn't really interest me. And yes, that story is a huge, loud, roided out, homoerotic brofest pain train, but
that's why I didn't play 2 for a while.
There is some depth. There is some depth in that homoerotic brofest pain train. Mm-hmm. And it is silly and ridiculous, but it knows when to hit you, and when it hits you hard, and it's so good. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just so good, and I hope
this gun keeps jamming. See?
Oh, don't even get me started on the Carmine factor.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I just
that's when it gets you.
I hope.
Oh, look, there's a main character. Guess not.
Guess he's gone now. Like, I do hope they kind of bring back that story that made the previous games so great.
Yeah.
But I do hope they keep that silliness, which the gameplay trailer shows a little bit of that silliness. Like, there is the fun banter between the squad mates, like we saw in the previous 3 games. So, like, it does have that personality, but it does seem a little bit darker, and I hope it doesn't go too far with being dark.
Yeah.
Doesn't go
because 3 had that perfect mix of they added jokes when they made it super violent but super fun and just funny. Just like the whole Baird and that other Sam.
Baird
and Sam, like that. Them talking to each other just throughout the game is just hilarious.
Baird and Cole throughout.
Oh yeah,
all 3 games.
Yeah, that's even better.
They are the best.
Best combo.
Augustus Cole is one of my favorite video game characters ever.
Yeah.
But without Baird, he is just kind of a loud, ridiculous character.
Woo!
Whoa! But like, so let's dive into what we liked about the previous games.
All right.
So you and me, a few months ago, like quite a few months ago, did a full-length marathon of all 3 games. We slept for like maybe 3 hours between each.
Yeah.
But like,
how many days did that take? It was like
it took us about.
You slept over like
about
2 or 3 times.
I slept for 2 nights. I slept over for 2 nights. But we like started, and that was the night Batman came out. So we had to go get Batman first.
Yeah. So of course we were already sleep deprived.
Yeah. We had to go get Batman first, and then we came back, started Gears of War 1 at around midnight, and we played through Gears of War 1, got done with that around 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, let's sleep for a little bit. Get up around 8. Then we start Gears of War 2, and that game is so long.
Yeah.
It takes us that whole day.
Yeah.
Then we sleep, get up around 6. Start Gears of War 3, finish that around 7 at night.
Man, that was a chore at that point.
But
3, it was fun, but at the same time, we're like, we've been doing this for so long.
We have been doing this for 2 days. There is nothing fun about it. And by the end, we started like playing Dancing in September while we were playing Gears of War 3. It was
perfect,
so great. We were murdering. Yes, we were murdering.
Back in September.
Murdering these monsters, and in the background,
I know you bayoneted someone perfectly to the beat.
My main gun is the Retro Lancer, and you can do this move where you charge and like bring someone up and let them fall down on the gun. And there's this part in Dancing in September. It's like, and he raises
perfectly
up and falls right on the beat, and I'm like, yes!
Were you even trying to do that?
No! It just happened! And it was great!
And then you just partied on! Dancing in September!
We played that song like 10 times.
Flipping the Lancer up into the air, catching it.
So great. But like,
which made that game fun again.
A little bit. But like we played through those games, and I feel like Gears of War, each of them is like I've played all the way through the most.
Yeah.
But like what I really love, and we talked about this earlier, is the mix of comedy and drama.
Like great mix.
Like it's really silly.
It's hard to overdo, like, you know, like, well, it's not hard. A lot of people like overdo comedy, or they overdo like something too dark, and it's kind of like, this is good, but it's missing something.
Yeah, and I always say, like, Halo is Aliens, Gears of War is the Expendables.
Yeah.
Like Gears of War is that hardcore
blow shit up
80s action movie
type thing, and it's so cool, like the way they blend comic booky hyper violence and that 80s action movie feel.
Yeah.
And like,
well, it's all kind of the same thing.
Well, and the drama.
Have you watched an 80s action movie?
Yeah. Well, like,
the Commando, there's dude plug in a pipe.
Yeah. I said the wrong thing. I meant blending it with that horrible, like, drama with the gravity of what this situation is. Like, this is a monster bent on bringing about the extinction of humanity. And like the way they tell that story to you without making it oppressively dark is kind of incredible. And I think the way they do that is they focus on the characters.
Yeah.
Halo focuses on the experience of the war.
Yeah.
It does focus on Master Chief, but Master Chief, at least in the first 2 and a little bit in 3 games, he's kind of a blank slate Avatar type character.
Yeah.
He's kind of the Doom guy. And
well, more than one, because 2 they gave him a little bit of personality.
2 he had a little bit of personality.
Sir, 2 permission to leave the station. Why?
To give the Covenant back their bomb. 2 they kind of made him like a Gears of War character a little bit. Like
before Gears of War.
He cracked some jokes in 2, but like those games have always been kind of a more serious, like, military sci-fi story.
Space opera.
Yeah, sort of a space.
Reminds you a lot of Starship Troopers, a little bit.
Little bit of Starship Troopers, but not.
I would almost say Gears of War is more Starship Troopers.
Little bit what Starship Troopers is making fun of.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Gears of War is what Starship Troopers is.
Yes.
Which is, but at the same time, with the comedy toned down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
it's not as ridiculous.
It's more of a mixture rather than this is really silly. But
it's a brain bug.
It's gonna suck out your brain
through a straw that it has in its mouth. That's not even a joke. Go and watch Starship Troopers, and you'll be horrified of that movie.
Well, that happens in Dead Space too.
Yeah.
That's how the Necromorphs become the Necromorphs.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
We don't talk about that.
So
Dead Space is a complete other topic.
So gross.
That's another video.
We really should.
Oh yeah, we really should.
I need to play those games.
And I'm in the middle of already playing through the first one.
Oh my god, I love those games. But anyway,
Gears of War, other completely grotesque and bloody game.
But like, okay, I want to talk about the gore. Let's take a minute to talk about gore. I want to talk about the
gore.
I want to talk about the gore because the gore could turn some people off. Like,
yeah,
because I know you're not.
I'm not a huge gore person.
You're not a huge.
Like, if it's more video game wise, I'm more okay with it. Like, movie wise, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't want to see this.
I know you're not
video games. I know they're fake. Movie.
I don't know what's up with movies. I see movies, I know it's fake, but I'm just like, I really don't want to watch this.
Yeah, that actor's dead.
This is a bit gross.
You're not a huge fan of gore, but you love these games.
Oh man.
And I've been trying to think like what the difference is. And there are some games that are totally gross. Like you cannot, like Dead Space borders on it. Mortal
Dead Space 2, that was the first one I played. I had some trouble. Like, when I first started playing, I was like,
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat, which is arguably the most graphic and grotesque game ever. No problem. And I'm trying to think, like, what the difference is. And the difference is the way it's presented. Yeah, the tone. And, like, the way the graphic violence is presented is in a manner that doesn't seem remotely realistic. Like, there's just ridiculous comic amounts of blood, and the blood doesn't really look like real blood. It's like very like, it looks kind of like
strawberry jello.
Yeah, it looks like strawberry jam. Yeah, it's just like. And it's just silly looking. And like when I chainsaw somebody in Gears of War,
I feel so empowered.
And that sounds like something a serial killer would say. But if you look at it, you're like you first of all, you have a machine gun with a chainsaw attached to it. That in and of itself is enough to make it stupid. But then you like run up to this monster that could physically overpower you. Like, you are a man and this is a beast. But like, you go up to this guy, no problem. You're like, I'm gonna fucking take you out. And you charge that thing up and you rev it up, screaming as you do it, like, oh! You stick it in them, and especially in Gears of War 1, there's like a mile high mist of gore.
That's all it was,
and
mist.
I'm just like,
it's a sprinkler.
It's not like, if you tell somebody, oh yeah, I'm sawing somebody in half, like, hearing that on paper, you're like, oh, that's grotesque. Games are horrible. But you watch it and you're like,
video games are the problem of the youth.
Yeah.
They're corrupting children to sadism and killing them in the schools.
But if you look at those games, if you look at Mortal Kombat, you look at Gears of War, there are some people that are like, this is too much. This is a little bit over the top for me. But if you're really looking at it, and just looking at it as what it's supposed to be, which is a silly, comic booky, ridiculous nonsense type thing, like, that's hilarious.
They're not focusing on just trying to put intestines in your face.
Yeah.
Like, they're not focusing on that.
Yeah, like the story isn't about the gore. The story is about these characters and how they have been shaped by the tide of war, and also like making, because their enemy is not human. Their enemy is truly, especially at least their definition of evil. So they don't even see this enemy as human, because it's not. And worse, they see this enemy as the embodiment of the devil.
Yeah.
Like, especially Ram.
It literally
in 1.
Yes.
Oh,
because General Ram was
the devil.
Very much the cyber demon-esque, like, devilly type character.
Because he kills the dude in the beginning, but he also seemed to have he also seemed to have like the swarms about him, or it made him look like
krill.
he was it made him look like he had this mystical power.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, but looking at him, you're like,
he just commanded, like, he just pointed at you, and the krill would just swarm and destroy you, just from him pointing at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's and the way they handle that in the narrative, because like these are monsters, they are not people, so we can, like,
no holding back.
There's no holding back. We need to do this to ensure the survival of our species. And if we think about what's happening as it's happening, suicide is what might happen, because they touch on that in Gears of War 2.
Oh yeah,
really hard.
That was
when Ty.
He just
spoilers.
When Ty
spoilers.
When Ty gets captured, and sees the
will to
actually sees the reality of the war for what it is, because before he was this big guy, he's tough as a
everyone can't, he won't die. I mean, Ty can't die.
He's tough as a brumok. He can take out anything. Nothing can kill him. He is the bro. And having Ty is the.
He's kind of like Hawaiian, like looking kind of a little bit.
He's kind of a Hawaiian Hispanic type guy.
Oh, Samoan.
Yeah, he had
a little bit Samoan. Yeah.
And he had like the black tattoos, like all over his body.
Yeah, he's
okay. Yeah,
he's kind of the Samoan, the Rock. He's the Rock.
The Rock. He's the Rock.
He's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. But
Reigns, the new WWE Superman.
But
that nobody likes.
They introduced that character as a means of, like, this is a legitimate threat to make you see the depth of what's going on, because, again, they didn't do a good job of that in the first game. But in Gears of War 2, they introduced Ty as this manly man, this guy that can get shit done.
That honestly broke my heart when I first saw that. Like, because even though Ty's a new character,
and he's a good guy, you're like, this is a strong new character.
He's killing people, but he's good spirited. He's just a good heart.
Everything happens for a reason. But like he's a really cool and spiritual character. And you're like, this is a cool departure from what we've been getting before. And when he gets captured, you're like, is he gone? But when we see him again, we're just like, okay, he's gonna get back in the fight. He's gonna be stronger than ever. But to see the emotion,
you can see it on his face.
To see the emotion in his eyes, like, I can't do this anymore. There's no way we can beat this enemy. And he just takes that shotgun that Marcus gives him and blows his head off. That is one moment that it does not shove the gore in your face. The camera
they even move away. Like,
the camera,
they kind of don't want you to.
The camera does not show his head splitting open.
You just see his body fall. That's it.
You just see his body fall. The headlessness is not on screen. The gore is not on screen. But you know what happened, and the weight of him hitting the ground is the weight of Marcus's soul hitting the floor.
I need to play 2 again. It's been a
seriously
while.
Like, it's just Marcus's face. Just after that, just even though it's kind of like a quick, it flashes his face and something else. Just his face, just how, like, oh god, like, what's happening?
Yeah,
like, he's really starting to understand, like, this isn't normal. Like,
can we win this?
Seriously,
I can't do a John DiMaggio. I don't think anyone can do a John DiMaggio besides John DiMaggio.
Just gotta look it in your eye and bare your teeth. Oh my god,
that scene is
that scene and the scene at the end, again, spoilers, but the whole game you've been looking for Dom's wife, and
oh man, I couldn't even.
You finally find her at the end, and she's been in a Locust death camp, and she drops to the floor, and like Dom first sees her, and
you don't even see any of this. Like, this, just Marcus is just walking away. You know what's happening in the background,
but like,
and you hear a gunshot.
When you see her for the first time, but like when Dom sees her for the first time, he has those rose tinted glasses. He sees her as he wanted to remember her. He sees
healthy and
he
happy
sees a healthy and happy woman, happy to see him, and that would have been dumb. Like, if she was,
there's no way she would have been able to stay. That
if she was totally fine, then that would have been stupid. But like, we see her come up to him, and then she drops to the floor, and we see her as she actually is, which is a barely holding on,
cuts
all
starving,
all around her head, totally emaciated and
gaunt.
Hair's like gone. Yeah, like,
it's just this heartbreaking thing, and he sees that there's nothing left of there's not only nothing left of the woman he loved, but there's nothing left of her life anymore. Like, if he takes her out, she's brain dead, she's blind, she's
totally
not.
She wouldn't have been able to enjoy life anymore.
Like, she wouldn't have been able to enjoy life anymore.
She's almost like a vegetable. Just
the way Marcus puts his hand on Dom's shoulder, like, Dom, it's okay, and then just walks away.
And you don't even see what's happening. Like
we see the emotion in Dom. We see the gun come out, and then it cuts to Marcus walking away, and we just hear. And that's
the look on Marcus's face too. He even he's like mid walk and he just stops when he hears it. Kind of shakes his head a little bit, and then keeps walking.
Saw that, after he started walking again, I was like, please no second gunshot. Please no second shot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was honestly afraid Dom was gonna kill himself after he killed her. I was really worried.
Because
she was like his whole world. Like he was fighting this in the second one, he was fighting for her.
Yeah.
He wanted to find her and bring her
home.
They
talk about that a little bit, but they don't really bring it up in the first one. It's like, I don't hang out with stranded dickwad. I'm looking for somebody. And they don't bring that up, but that they brought that up in the second game.
Yeah.
Like, no stone left unturned. And in the third game, we kind of see, we see a broken man.
Yeah, his mind is just kind of gone. Like, he's there, but,
I'm ready to fight, but
sadness is just overtaken him.
I'm gonna do what I need to do for my brothers, but there's nothing left in this world for me. And
even the beginning, just everyone's in their military outfits and stuff, and he's
tending the crops.
Which talking about his radishes, who's gonna feed the radishes, and he's like, you can walk away from your radishes for a second, Dom.
Yeah, they don't understand. He's just like, I need something to distract me from the abyss that is my life right now. But and when we get to later in the game with the lambent humans, overwhelming the Delta Squad and
his hometown.
Yeah,
he sees Maria's grave, it's broken, and he sees the only way to save my friends is to sacrifice myself. And he gets in the rig, drives off,
hits a gas tank and kills himself, and destroying all the land around.
Calling out to Maria as he's doing it. And
I'll see you soon, Maria.
And especially I was worried that was gonna happen, especially in that moment beforehand, and I saw when he kneels down at Maria's grave, I gotta go. Marcus is trying to save the world again. He doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. He's just in it because he's loyal to his friend. Mm-hmm. And
really, Marcus is the only reason why he's even remaining somewhat.
Yeah, he's staying loyal to his friend, and it's hard sometimes because there are parts in that game when when he snaps at him, he gets mad at him because he's just come on, Dom, we gotta do this. Fine. It's just really, really well.
As it progresses, he doesn't stop himself more and more. He'll keep going in that snap.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful series of games. And if you've been watching this video and you haven't played them,
oh my gosh, you gotta play them. I cannot stress enough.
Cannot recommend them enough. Play
all of them.
Play all of them. Even play Judgment. It's worth at least one playthrough. I played it once. It's a fun game.
It's just different. It's not bad. It's just
the other three games are essential for anybody who plays video games. Mm-hmm. They are just incredible and such a major part of who I am as a gamer, who you are as a gamer.
Oh yeah.
And to a lesser extent, you. Mm-hmm. Because you've played them. But
I played them, but I played all of them a year after they came out.
Yeah.
Because the first one came out on Xbox, and like I'm like, man, I've got my Halo.
Yeah.
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 And especially because Halo 3 was out, and
Halo
God
3
knows how
was
many
on
hours
its
I
way
put in.
out.
And about a year after, Alex shows me the game along with like Fallout 3, and so I checked it out, and it was pretty cool. So I went and played it. Was totally lost. I had no idea what was going on.
Well, did you start with 2?
No, the
Oh.
first one.
Oh, you were lost in the first. Okay.
Well,
Like,
I kind of.
Yeah,
I
do
played
get
it.
but-
Didn't play it for like a week, and
Oh,
then
okay.
came back in the middle of the story.
Okay. I get that.
So I was like,
I highly recommend go through the games and even replay through the first one after you kind of get a connection
Yeah,
with everybody,
do-
because then you'll feel better about the first one.
Yeah, after you finish 3, go back and play 1 again.
yeah,
Because
I
you'll
need-
feel
I need
stronger
to.
connections to the
I need
characters.
to go and play them all
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
But like, then I played.
You want to
2.
do a marathon, Drew?
There's only 2 players.
We can invite somebody in for 3.
And get our Xboxes together.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there only 2-player co-op?
Split screen, but we can get another TV in here for 3. Because 3's got 4.
Yeah.
There's another TV right back there that you're blocking.
Yeah.
What people?
They don't care.
I don't care.
Maybe we'll live stream it, and we'll have 2 cameras pointing at us, looking at TVs
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
for 3 days.
That'll be great.
And then we'll do the September thing again.
And then
Do
me
you
and Larry.
remember
And then if
the
Larry
21st
decides,
night
we
in
could live
September?
stream World of Warcraft Legion. And
no.
anyone else who wants to play that.
But as we've said, like, cannot stress enough, play Gears of War.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good series.
Yeah.
I cannot even. So good.
I think
great.
it was, especially with like 2, for a long time, we hadn't really had story in our first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
like, we had
Halo was about it, and even that like
Even like
One-
at the beginning, especially.
1 and 2 was very light on story. Like 2 a little bit
2 had more story.
little bit heavier, but not quite. 3 was when it really hit.
Yeah. But, like, Call of Duty 4 had a story.
Yeah.
Like, Call of Duty 1 through 3 had stories, but they were World War II
This is-
documentaries.
This is a
kind of.
game where you World War II. It's kind of fun.
You go onto the beach on D-Day, and
you get to be
shoot
a
some
Russian,
Nazis.
and you get to
You kill
you
some
get to
Nazis.
kill
Tank.
stuff.
You get a tank. You get to fight things.
It's
It's fun.
and then like the Modern Warfare games occasionally had story.
Yeah,
But, like,
occasionally.
Modern Warfare 2, the beginning part
Yeah.
was, and then
Call-
the rest of the game.
Yeah, Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 were the last 2 Call of Duty games that really had good
Well,
stories.
Black Ops. Black Ops had a story.
Black Ops had a little bit of a story too, yeah. But
then like you had Team Fortress 2. There's no story. Then we had
Yeah, at the time.
Crackdown.
Crackdown was that didn't really have story though.
Yeah,
It was just kind of a
I know.
sandbox
Yeah,
kill bad
that-
guys.
I
That's
know
what we're saying,
That's
just
exactly what we mean.
no story at all.
Yeah, that's
Like there
Well, like,
were so
Gear-
many shooters that didn't have story.
Gears was bringing back that
Yeah.
story-based shooter.
Because like but like excluding Halo, the last story-based shooter that we had was Half-Life 2.
A little bit, yeah.
And like
And now-
Halo
now
3
we
was
have-
the one that had real story.
Now we have tons of them.
Yeah, we have Borderlands now, and we've got Halo, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
We've got. 'Cause
They
I'm
get-
only
they get
thinking
what we're
Xbox. Uncharted is a thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uncharted is a thing.
But yeah, the story-based shooters are making a comeback, and hopefully Gears of War 4 brings back that charm and fun and drama that we loved from the previous games. And with that, I think we're going to bring this incredibly long video to a close.
Oh wow, it is an hour.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have played Gears of War, let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know what you think Gears of War 4 is going to be about, and if you haven't, let us know what you thought of this video. And I'm Davey here with Treblechin Entertainment. He's Drew here with Treblechin Entertainment. This is Larry for the first time here with Treblechin
Hopefully to
Entertainment.
make more.
Hopefully we'll have him for more.
Hopefully Thursdays.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That would, that ought to be able to think.
But
that's the thing.
thank you guys so much for watching. Share on Facebook and do all the fun social media stuff.
Like our page on Facebook.
Yeah.
We also put all of our things on there.
Yeah, search Treblechin Entertainment on Facebook and join that group and maybe start some conversations in there. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about us, or talk about stuff that we talked about, and add your own thoughts in the comments, or just post up on the thing.
Yeah. And,
it's open.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy.
Yep.